Hey guys, what is your notion of leadership? Whoever you are, I think it's safe to assume that leadership is something that is important to you. But are you doing anything to improve your leadership quotient? If you are in the middle management, then you would have opportunities for leadership coaching sessions, or you would interact with the senior leaders in your organization, and hence you might have an understanding of what leadership entails. And a lot of these global organizations have a program of shadowing where the middle managers can shadow the senior leaders for a day or a week, and probably through that get a perspective of what senior leadership positions require and how do you go about it. But if you're just starting out like me, or even just in school or university, how do we build our leadership muscle? So in this I found films to be a very useful resource. Of course, books are great, especially books on history, and biographies are really great to learn about leaders. But I found films more effective because there is a certain manner in which the actor brings the character to life through the voice and body language that I find really useful and yields itself to the shadowing practice. In this video, I'm going to recommend 3 movies in which we can observe and learn leadership insights. All these 3 movies are set around huge historical moments, and we will see how these leaders operate through these historical moments and influence the outcome. So do watch the movies that I recommend. Watch them with the leadership perspective in your mind. Probably the first time you watch it, you would watch it for the story, but the next time you watch it with the perspective of gaining leadership insights. The first movie is Invictus. This movie is set in the post-apartheid South Africa, where the apartheid government is thrown away, and democratically elected South African president comes to power. That's Nelson Mandela, and he, in this huge historical moment, he has the huge responsibility of bringing 2 sections of his country together. There is this white population who were benefited by the apartheid government, and for long they've been there, and there is this the African population who are blacks and who have been discriminated all this while long, and since they are a majority, they have got a black president in power now. So this is the historical occasion where he has to bring a reconciliation, and there has to be a period of forgiveness where the blacks forgive the apartheid government and the whites, and there is no animosity going forward, so they could become the rainbow nation. So that's the historical context, and the leader is Nelson Mandela. It's based on this book called Invictus by John Carlin. So there are a couple of things you can look out for in the film. The first thing is how Nelson Mandela inspires the people around him through words, and there is also a poem called Invictus that comes up in the film. And the second aspect that we notice is that Nelson Mandela, despite being the president, this huge man in his country, his approach towards individuals, he's so gracious and he's so personal with them. His schedule is busy, he has a million things to do, and he has huge problems to solve. But even so, when he meets individuals, even the lady who serves his tea, he's so gracious and takes personal care to interact with them. I think that's a wonderful quality to have. The second movie is 13 Days. The leader is John F. Kennedy. The historical moment is this. So it is set somewhere in 1962, where the world is at the cusp of a nuclear catastrophe. It's the height of Cold War, and Russia has made a very hostile move. It has put nuclear weapons in Cuba, and that has threatened USA. Now, if this escalates, it could end up being a full-blown nuclear war. Of course, in a nuclear war, all of us would be destroyed. So it is this huge, momentous occasion. John F. Kennedy is the President of the United States, and he has to make a decision how to respond to the aggression of Russia. This film is based on the book called 13 Days. It is written by It is written by Robert Kennedy, who was John F. Kennedy's brother, and Robert Kennedy was the Attorney General during that time, during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So he writes a memoir of how the inside workings of how they actually made the decision to solve the crisis. Of course, we know that a nuclear war did not happen, so they did resolve it peacefully. So there are a couple of things that you can look forward to in the film. The first is, how do you make a decision when the stakes are very high? You have multiple options. The military gives him 3 or 4 options of how he could respond. Some are more belligerent than the others. You have the diplomatic route. So how do you evaluate these options so that the response is strong enough that it gives a strong word to Russia, and also it is not too strong that it escalates into a war? And the second aspect you could look out for is, he manages multiple stakeholders. There is the military on one side who are pushing for war. There's the Congress he has to manage. There's the press who's always pushing for more information. And there is the public which is threatened, and you have to really make sure that they don't feel insecure. And finally, there is also your own team of advisors, and each of them is speaking out his mind, and you have to balance these stakeholders and still make a level-headed decision and not end up taking something that's really brash and that could end up being a full-blown nuclear war. The third movie is Lincoln. Obviously the lead character is Abraham Lincoln here, and the historical moment is abolition of slavery. This movie is based on the book The Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin. It's a Pulitzer Prize winner. I'm just working through the book. So it's loosely based on this book because this book covers a lot of things. The movie focuses on a specific time period of the end of the Civil War and where they pass an amendment to abolish slavery. There are a couple of things to look out for here. Again, it's a huge, momentous occasion in history of America. There is a civil war. The southern states and the northern states are fighting on the issue of slavery. So what is at stake is really huge. On one hand, there is this moral stand of abolishing slavery, that all men are created equal and they should so be treated. On the other hand, the United States of America may not be united. It might fragment. The southern states might part away. Again, here we see the use of words to inspire people. In the beginning of the movie, we see the democracy, what we have all heard and has become really famous, that is a government of the people, by the people and for the people. So again, we see how Lincoln uses words to inspire the people around him and bring about a change in the outcome. So those are the things that you could look out for when watching this film. So these are the 3 movies: Invictus, 13 Days and Lincoln. They are all set in different points of history. But still we see some common qualities of these leaders, Nelson Mandela, John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. The first thing you see is the moral standpoint. All of them believe what is the right thing to do. They have a sense of moral compass, and to a certain extent, rather to a large extent, they try to follow it. Despite political opposition, despite the political risk, they try to follow what they believe to their mind is right. So I think that is a very essential leadership quality. You have a conviction of what is right. You of course take input from people around you, but you form your own judgment of what is right, and despite all the risk, you try to pursue it. And the second aspect is the use of words and literature to inspire themselves and the people around them. Now, I told you in Invictus how Mandela takes inspiration from a poem and also spreads the same inspiration to others, and he himself uses speeches and words to inspire people. And we saw in Lincoln how Lincoln himself uses words to inspire himself and other people. We saw the keywords of democracy, which has become really famous, and he reads poems at night when he's not able to find solutions to the war. Also in 13 Days, we see John F. Kennedy picking out quotes from books that he has read, the Art of War or Guns of August, and he uses these quotes from these books to reflect on the present situation. So all of them in a way use words to inspire themselves or to gain insight into a situation or inspire other people. So those are two common qualities that I could draw from these three movies. So do let me know in the comment section if you watched any of these three movies and what you learned from them. Are there any other movies that bring out leadership insights? Do comment in the comment section. If you did gain anything from this video, please do like and subscribe. I post videos every week on personal growth, on books and films and insights from these. So please do subscribe and keep following. Goodbye. I'll meet you next time with another video. Thanks for watching.